Yes, so as I said, if you are getting a positive value, we would be changing this one, and if you are getting a negative value, we will be changing this one. Since we got a negative value, we are going to change our x1 and we are going to put it as 2.6. So now we are confirming that the root lies between 2.6 and 3. Okay. So I'm actually preparing you in a way where you can write for this exam which is happening on 27. That is BC054 exam. So next is you can give the heading as iteration number 2. Yeah. Now we have our x1 value as 2.6, f of x1 as minus 1.824, x2 value as 3, and f of x2. F of x2 is something which we have found already earlier. So yeah, where we got a positive value. So that one is 6. Okay. Now we would be taking this and we will be doing the same thing. How? Our equation x1 into f of x2 minus, it's better to write here, x1 into f of x2 minus x2 into f of x1, the whole divided by f of x2 minus f of x1. Okay. So this is our equation. So when we are equating, yeah, let's put our x1 value 2.6 into f of x2, which is 6, minus x2 value 3 into x1 value minus 1.824, the whole divided by f of x2, which is 6 minus 1.824. Yeah, when we are calculating this, what's the value that we get? 15.6 plus 15.6 plus 5.472 divided by 7.824. 7.824. Or I will just write it. I will write it over here. 15.6 plus 5.472 divided by 7.824, and what you would get is 21.072 divided by 7.824. Okay, 7.824, and the answer would be 2.693. This is the answer that we go after doing the second iteration, 2.693. Now what can we do? Let's plug this into our function and see whether we would get a positive value or a negative value. Okay. So 2.693. F of 2.693, which is equal to 2.693, the whole cube minus 4 into 2.693. I'm going to erase this. minus 9. Okay, so which would give 19.530 minus 10.772 minus 9, which is equal to minus 0.242. See, again we got a negative value. So as you know, if we are getting a negative value, what we will do? We would be replacing the x1. So our our new x1 will be minus 0.242. Minus 0.242. Sorry, it's not our x1. This is our f of x1 value. No, our new x1. So let's say iteration number 3. Our new x1 will be x1 is equal to, this one is our new x1. No, 2.693. f of x1 is this one. Minus 0.242. Then x2 is equal to what was our x2? I think so 3, right? Yeah, 3. f of x2 is 6. Okay, so when we put the value, what would do we get? Again we would put the value which is x1 into f of x2 minus x2 into f of x1, the whole divided by f of x2 minus f of x1, which is equal to 2.693 into f of x2 is 6 minus x2, 3 into minus 0.242, the whole divided by f of x2. f of x2 is 6 minus 0.242. This minus and minus will become plus, and let's see what is the answer that we are going to get. Our answer would be 16.158 plus 0.726, the whole divided by 6.242. Okay, that would give the 16.884 divided by 6.242, and that would give the answer 2.704. Okay, this is our new x value, and let's see if you are getting a positive or a negative when we plug this into the function. So when we plug this into the function, 2 into 2.704 is equal to 2.704 the whole cube minus 4 into 2.704 minus 9, which is equal to 19.770 minus 10.816 minus 9, which will give the answer minus 0.046. See, our value again is negative. So of course you know that we would be replacing our x1 with this new value. Okay, let's see. So next iteration is going to be our iteration number 4. Okay. So our new x1 value was 2.704. F of x1 is minus 0.04, right? Yes, minus 0.046. And x2 value was 3 and f of x2 is equal to 6. Again we are plugging into our function s1 f of x1 x2 minus x2 into f of x1 whole divided by f of x2 minus f of x1, which would give the answer 2.704 2.704 into 6 minus x 3 into minus 0.046, the whole divided by f of x2. F of x2 value is 6 minus f of x2 6 minus 0.046, and the answer what we would get is 16.224 plus 0.138, the whole divided by 6.046, which would give the answer 2.706. Okay, we got 2.700 before plus 2.704, now it's 2.706. We have to stop this until we get a similar value. Now again plug this into our original function, and f of 2.706 would give you the answer minus 0.01. Again you would be getting a minus, so we will have to do that again. We have to do this until we get similar values. Okay, there are in some places they have said us do it until the value becomes like nearer to 0. But for BC054, I would always recommend you to do it until you get the same answer, because our textbook follows that methods. So until you get that equal answer, do that steps. So yeah, so again we would do our iteration, And when we do our iteration for the second with the next one, with this one, which is x1 is equal to 2.706, x2 is equal to sorry, here I was f of x1. F of x1 is equal to minus 0.01, x2 is equal to 3, f of x2 is equal to 6. So when you are doing this, again you would be getting the answer 2.706. Okay. Now you get the similar values, which is same. You can stop the iteration. This is your value. So for the final answer, you can write that. 2.706. This is our final answer. Okay, I hope you are clear with it. Make sure that in the exam maximum try to follow this method, because if you are taking and writing out those values x1, x2, f of x1, x2 like this, you will not get confused. The procedure would become clearer for you. There will be more clarity. So it is always better to write this value separately before doing an iteration. So I hope you have understood my regular falsi method of all position. So if you are having any doubt, you can put it in the comment section, and I would love to know about your feedbacks also. So thank you.